Hi guys, my name is Eric Anciso. I'm a retail manager for Forever 21.
My name is Jacob Adams. I'm here with, as Eric said, Mr. Eric Anciso, who is a manager for Forever 21. Me and Eric started training, as you recall from some of an interview back in January, and we started training in December. So we've known each other almost an entire year, like basically a year almost, in 3 weeks.
Like within a few weeks.
And so we have not been able to get in front of the camera all this time just because of time constraints, working, etc. And also it was a very pivotal moment I saw to sit down with Eric and talk about his results, right? Really just talk about what's happened in the last year.
Yeah.
Eric, you want to tell people a little bit about just what has happened that you can just off the top of your memory. We have a lot of data here on paper with in-body kind of stuff here. We have a lot of data. We have stuff like that. We have pictures that we've taken from the beginning and stuff. But what about you? What can you tell the viewers that you've accomplished in 1 year?
In 1 year? Well, fitness-wise, I've had ups and downs, I guess you could say, as everybody probably would throughout the year. The good thing is I've really been able to kind of work on myself a little bit more and really been able to challenge myself throughout the past year. And so I've gotten results that I've never even thought of achieving in the past. So it's really nice, and just seeing that progress is for sure keeping me going.
Okay, so you've had results and you had the ups and downs, okay. What are some of the, we'll go right, because people let's get to the point. For the viewers that want to get to the point, what have you accomplished? As far as, let's say, muscle gained or pounds lost or stuff like that, because you wanted to get in better shape, get more energy.
Yeah.
I asked you at the beginning of the year, or when we started, I go, in 1 year, what would make it a successful year? And you said, do you remember what you said?
I kind of forgot.
It was, you said, if I have more energy and joy.
Yeah.
And have you achieved that?
I've achieved a lot more energy, yeah, for sure. It's trickled down into every aspect of my life, from work to my personal life at home.
You have significantly more energy.
Yeah.
Were you lower on energy back then?
To an extent. I guess I felt pretty sluggish, I guess. It was much more of a struggle to, just do the regular tasking that I'm required to do as a retail manager. It was a struggle to try to, bring myself to, a happy state of mind.
Okay.
It wasn't so easy.
Okay, so you sort of felt lethargic of sorts? That's what I'm visualizing.
Yeah.
As you say all that, you're kind of downtrodden, a little bit kind of getting the energy to stay focused and to stay in the game.
Pretty much just be spent on that. I wouldn't really have much energy for myself, or be able to enjoy
It's almost like maybe you were being almost almost unappreciative of the moment. Without trying to lead you into that, but that's what I can visualize.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Because it happens to us. It happens to anyone sometimes, right? I'm not focusing, and it's hard without energy. It's such an important part.
Yeah.
And one of the things, remember I was telling you about that book, High Performance Habits. Remember that? The 6 Habits. Do you recall that? Okay, that's fine. But so one of the 6 habits was energy, creating energy. So it's such an important thing, and a lot of people whatever, I want more energy, but until you make it a discipline to create energy, you're not really going to get it every day. And so when we sat down, what was one of the first things you recall I was about? We sat down, we were at a coffee shop, and I sat down and talked to you about something. It's a test. I'm testing you, Eric.
I remember we talked about creating energy and eliminating obstacles or
distractions.
Yeah.
Okay. What about
this whole thing about feeding the beast, starving the doubt?
And that was from Grant Cardone, and I did quote. Remember, I said, "Get the book, Be Obsessed or Be Average."
Yeah.
And so that's still a formula, isn't it?
I've always kept that with me, throughout the whole year. That whole feeding the beast, starving the doubt.
You have to, right?
Yeah, because throughout the year, it happens. There's times where it kind of gets to you, where all this doubt comes into you. For me personally, just fitness wise, should I have lost more weight by this point? Should I gain more muscle by this point? And then of course, not so much for me because I knew this would happen, but slight comparison of okay, this person looks really good, how much more do I need to achieve before I could get to that point?
And we haven't gotten to, we haven't even told the viewers, okay, so what did you start at, the scale? You know, because someone's watching this right now being like, so what did you lose? You know, we'll give it to them, Eric. What did you start at? For you that are so impatient and just need the data.
It was, I was at 307.
307, right? Even 305, whatever, you know.
307, that's how much I started with.
And I remember when you were, I don't know if you recall, but when we got that metric, I don't know if you recall what I said. I was like, okay, we have some work to do. Remember?
Yeah, no, I knew it was a pivotal time for me because I had always I knew that I was I weighed more than I had in the past, but I had kind of stayed ignorant to it. I kind of I pushed it to the side, thinking if I was ignorant about it, it wouldn't hurt as much or get to me as much. But I had already gotten to that point where I knew okay, if I'm going to help myself and become a healthier person, I need to know where I'm at. Regardless if I like it or not, I need to know.
Yeah, it's leadership. To me, when I say that's leadership is that those are when you're honest with yourself, like you were being. You said you knew it could be hard, and you're like, oh, you know what? Okay, let me do it. Mm-hmm. That's leadership because no one's gonna be honest with you for you. You have to do it yourself. Exactly. You have to, and we all have those moments. I have them. They're different areas. You know, for me, it was meditation. I tell people all the time. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like I said, there's different areas where we're like, oh, now I got to do this. Mm-hmm. And so I really applaud you for taking action, taking initiative, and saying I'm going to do something. Mm-hmm. And so you started at 307. Mm-hmm. You know, what is the scale saying today?
Well, today
I don't know what it's saying today, by the way. I know I'm very aware of Eric's progress. He actually went to the scale and got the printout right here. So I haven't looked at the printout, but I know that he's gotten so much progress that I pretty much know it's going to be fine, whatever he says. I'm thinking 259 or 261. What's it saying?
261.7.
Damn! Okay, Eric, how often do I call out your metrics, whether it's your heart rate, whether it's your calories burned? Just like we're training, I'm like, your heart rate's here.
At least 2 or 3 times every time we train.
And how accurate am I though? 90%. 90%.
I guess you could say 90%.
Okay, but I'm a virtual heart rate monitor, basically. I could just say, okay, here's okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I'm very aware of Eric's metrics, and I wasn't surprised it was 261. So we can do the math. So let's just say 307 minus 261. On the scale, meaning not because he has gained significant muscle tissue, on the scale he's got 46 pounds off. Now, there was a point when you did the 24-day challenge and you had gotten down to what, 254 or 255?
254.9, so 0.1 shy of 255.
Minus 307. So 53. So 53 minus what, 46? So 53 minus 46. So you're fluctuating within 7 pounds as of recently. And we took all of October off, you know.
Pretty much. We'd only done maybe a few sessions in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, you know, for the most part, October was off. And you kept your cardio, and you had gone through some family stuff that you needed to go through. And
I had gone through, besides the family stuff, I had gone through that sort of knee injury that I had that kind of kept me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just prevented a lot of stuff, more than I wish I could have pushed myself. But yeah, I had some personal stuff happen.
So, and much respect to that. In October, and if you want to talk about the family stuff, you may. You know, I know that's very heavy stuff for some. You know, it can process a lot. You know, so October, you took October off of weight training for the most part, enlarged compared to where you were doing. Yeah. What did you notice? What did the numbers say when you took that month off?
Well, the numbers, they didn't really. The actual complete weight didn't fluctuate too much. It was much more with dividing it into the body fat and the lean body mass. That's where
you lost some muscle, right? Was it 5 pounds or 4? I forget what it was.
Actually, I have it right here. Actually, I don't have the last one. I want to say it was. I lost about slightly over 2 pounds of muscle.
Oh, it was over 2 for sure.
Yeah, it was over 2 pounds of muscle, and I gained
about 5 pounds of body fat.
Body fat, yeah.
So that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
It's largely significant.
Yeah, and I felt it too. Like my body didn't feel as tight. Like
Kind of
I
softer.
could tell like it was getting kind of softer. Yeah.
And Eric, for the people that don't know, obviously not just people that are going to watch this. I know Eric, like because we did one interview only and stuff like that. And by the way, anyone that's seeing this, they could be like in Australia, and England, and Canada. So this really could be seen by pretty much anywhere. By the way, that people watch it from all over the world. Really, they really do. So let's just say someone's watching this. You're a vegan. They don't know you're a vegan. I'm telling them that you're a vegan. What challenges do you think being a vegan has presented to you in weight training or your goals, if any? Maybe you could tell me, Jacob, you're crazy. Like you remember, I always invite you. Just tell me to shut up, man. If I'm dumb, But if it's been said that it can create challenges to gain muscle and get leaner and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I subscribe to that only out of against the scientific perspective. It's not ever.
Well, a lot of
you know me, like I'm very scientific about like my perspectives and.
Yeah. Well, especially with weight training, you really need to get like. I struggled with constantly making sure I intake enough calories, and especially intaking enough protein calories. Like it's already difficult enough as a vegan or vegetarian to like get protein from other food sources versus like meat. But even much more like with weight training, you really need to like up that amount than you would normally. So I kind of struggled with that, and we had some days where like I didn't consume enough, so like I kind of like tanked out on some sessions.
Yeah, there was about this whole year, maybe for sure 3 I can recall, like 2 for sure, but 1 that was maybe kind of that. There's been times where maybe you've burned so much, because our average session burns on the minimum 1,002. Like with your warm up, the minimum. And then we've hit as high as, I think our peak session will burn 1,006, maybe 1,008. Did we ever hit 2,000? We hit 2,000 one time, right?
2,000 like 1 to 10.
Yeah, and then so I mean,
those were the sessions that like I actually had like a balanced like amount of calorie intake.
So we were able to produce
right.
Yeah,
I
right.
was able to still do everything. Yeah.
Because if you don't have the enough calories, then you're not going to be able to produce the output. You're seeing that correlation.
Yeah.
Okay, so did we finish? We didn't finish that question, right? Which was, hey, you know what? What have you noticed? You said you're having trouble getting the calories in. Okay, I heard that part. He has trouble getting the calories in. Okay. Being vegan, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is that premise number 1?
Yeah.
What's your solution, or how are you going around it, or what's your,
a lot of it had to do with just like a lot of research to like understand what food sources I could consume
to get protein up.
Pretty much get protein.
And what are they? So what are your top 3?
I mean, a lot of it's a lot of complex carbs. So that's where I get a lot of my
like beans.
Yeah.
Quinoa.
Yeah.
Those are I think those are the leading ones.
And those are pretty much the easiest ones I could do, just because like
almonds.
Yeah, somewhat.
You're not really into almonds.
Somewhat, but it's just I use them more like to snack on.
Okay, which is fine.
Which is fine, yeah. But I don't know. It's difficult sometimes just because of the way my work schedule is. Like sometimes they don't always have enough time to like eat breakfast or like have a good lunch, because lunch is like very limited to what I could consume over there. So yeah, it's but usually those like a lot of beans, a lot of rices. So
someone's watching this and they're 250 pounds or also starting at 300 pounds. Maybe they're where you were. What would you tell them? Look in that camera right there. So look right into that eye and tell them what do you want to tell them? That they're struggling, they're 300 pounds, thinking to start. What would you tell them?
I mean, I had to get a point in my life where I had to decide for myself, like, this is where it stops. This is where I stop wishing, like, if I would have worked out a year ago, I would have been in a good place right now. And that was always the thing, like, maybe next year, if I start working out now, I could get to that point. But it was always that of, like, wishing it and then hoping that you would be at the end of the result that you already wanted, like, without having to, like, go through the struggles that you'd need to do. But like there was a certain point in my life where I was like, you know what, like I need to do this for myself. Like it's something, regardless of how many pounds I lose or like what size of clothing I was in. Like I just wanted to feel better about myself, and so you just have to like find the strength within yourself to start. Like it'll be easier once you have support from either friends, family, or if you're lucky enough to get someone to help you train. But you have to start it yourself, because if you don't feel confident, if you're not ready to make that start, then what'll happen is you'll go in strong and then you'll kind of like just fall out of it.
So like phase out.
Yeah, that's what'll happen. Because I've done that in the past where like I would try to, I guess, start jogging like at a park or start doing like this little stuff like that. And I would start it, but I didn't have a lot of knowledge as far as like what I was supposed to consume, how much I was supposed to consume, how much I was burning, like as far as like the little workouts I would do.
Sort of like maybe like not, you kind of understood the general idea, but not like these are the targets, these are the metrics, this is how important it is. Do not like
you need to work out and then you'll lose weight, but you need to actually research and understand like how the body works, how your body works, and what you need to do.
Respect the science to it. We're caught in this world of marketing so much that it's like, it's so difficult, I think, if you don't have a science backbone in your program, it's shit. I mean, that was an honest opinion. Like I didn't even try to be offensive. Like
when I was like that, like I didn't know anything about the science behind it. So like I would do it for like a month, and I felt a little better, but I didn't know like on paper how much I was losing, how many pounds I was losing, how much muscle I gained, how much fat I lost. And so not having that knowledge, it was discouraging, because I was like, well, shouldn't I have lost like another pant size? And not doing that and not getting that, you're just like, well, let me just stop.
Pant sizes, what have you noticed in the clothing, generally speaking?
It's gotten a lot better. I mean, the majority of clothing I have right now, it's still like clothing I would wear before, but I wasn't as comfortable in it before. Like I was at a point with a lot of my clothing where like I wouldn't wear half of it, or the other half that I would wear, it would just like kind of like, I don't want to say drape over me, but it would kind of like be kind of loose, and so it would make me appear even bigger than I actually was.
Okay.
And so
you were kind of floating. You felt like you were floating because you were trying to maybe like, well, it fits, but it's a little too big.
Yeah.
And now where you at now?
Well, I'm at a point where like, well, a good example would be like
even your spandex that you got, like your tights. You know, I've noticed that when you got them, they would fit, and then as the years progressed, as the time progressed, his spandex would start fitting loose.
Yeah, I have a lot of compression pants, and honestly, I rarely wear a lot of them anymore. Like some of them I'm slowly getting rid of just because like I like them, but like they don't really like,
they're not
as tight. They're not doing what they need to do, so I'm slowly getting rid of them.
It's kind of like, who wants to wear loose spandex? Yeah. It's a really weird emotion, I'm sure. Like,
yeah, some slowly.
Like, what are these?
Yeah.
Maybe pajamas, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm slowly starting to get rid of those, starting to get rid of a lot of the shorts that I would wear before. As far as like shirts and jackets, we're
getting ready to go into the next frame. You see how it's blinking like that? Yeah. So just saying, like, it's fine. We'll go another 10 minutes or so, but that little blinking is gonna mean, get ready.